What's going on, guys? Chris here, welcoming you into my alone zone. Glad you stopped by. So yesterday I talked about Robin Williams, and I liked more of his stuff, but I chose the three favorite roles. But Hook was a good movie. Patch Adams, Good Will Hunting. I think he did a movie called Jack where he was like an older kid. That one is, I forgot to mention that, but that one is really, really good because I can kind of relate to that. I'm just an older kid myself, so. But yeah, it is a tragedy, and thinking about it a little bit more, the fact he could never come to grips with his depression, he dealt with it for over 40 years, but it finally broke, and I've been dealing with mine now for 20, so. I don't know, man, and I don't want to sound down about something, but it just seems like it just kind of makes me a little bit, worried, a little bit more than I already am about everything, because he's got rich, and I know it's not everything, but he was rich, he was famous, he was well loved, but behind all that, he could never get his own personal self together. And if he couldn't do that with all the options he had, hell, what is a guy like me gonna do? What is a guy like anyone out there who's suffering, any woman as well, with the mental health problem? What are we gonna do? But this should be taken as a lesson, I guess, in a way, that people don't need to die, because of a mental health problem. If we in this country if people who don't deal with it, and I'm gonna have to adjust my camera because I don't like the way it's sitting. There we go. But sorry about that, guys. It was sitting a little bit down. I was down a little bit more. But anyways, people who don't experience it, or just maybe have one bout of depression in a year for a couple of days or weeks or whatever, they don't understand the mental health as a whole. They think it's easy for someone to snap their fingers and get over it because when they go through something, it's short term because they don't have the condition. So because they are able to snap out of it, they think anybody can, and so many innocent people are dying at their own hands because they just can't handle life. And I don't care what anybody says, killing yourself does not make you weak. Killing yourself does not make you a coward. Because in life, if you are suffering and you have tried and you just are miserable, how in the hell can anyone tell you that you're a coward or that you're weak for wanting to kill yourself and actually doing it? If you wake up every day of your life and you're miserable and you have nothing to look forward to, it's your life, your body. Now, again, I've always had this distinction. If you have a group of friends and family, then I'm kind of like, Robin had that. But there were other things surrounding him that will come to light that maybe people do not know. For me, a guy like me, I've got people out there that watch my videos, that talk with me on Facebook, that do care. Awesome. But I stress this over and over, I don't have a core group of people around me on a daily basis to fall on when I'm super, super down. I can't call on you and you come to me, or I go to you and lean on your shoulder. I don't have that, and I'd do anything to have that. And it really sucks when you have my condition and the only thing you've ever wanted in life was to fall in love, have a family. I would love to have children. Here coming up in a couple of months is the fair. It's called the Pensacola Interstate Fair, and it comes to town every year. And I used to go, even alone, but I was doing, the last time I went was like, God, probably 04. And I was on drugs, you know, then deep into my addiction with that. And so I guess I just went, you know, was high and just, you know, I don't know, it was different. I kind of, you know, didn't let it bother me that I wasn't there with anyone, but I can't go anymore because when I go, all I think about is, man, it would be so awesome to have either a girlfriend or a wife and to have some kids, just to be able to go on the rides with my kids, or, you know, me and my wife, you know, maybe one day we do the family thing at the fair, and then another day just me and my wife go and hang out and just have a good old time, just me and her, you know, being like big kids again, you know. But, you know, we're in love, we're married, and we're just taking a break from the children. We've already taken them to the fair and had their fun. Now mommy and daddy get to go play and have fun, and so I can't go to the fair, and it's just makes me hate my condition so bad. Because when you have social anxiety and avoidant personality disorder, to where you avoid things and it's hard for you to approach people and talk to people and start conversations in a one-on-one or a social setting, and when you have that, how in the world am I ever supposed to be with somebody? Again, though, it's like I say, I think it's possible, but it's gonna take comfort. It's gonna take me realizing this person wants to be here and is willing to accept what I'm going through, and is willing to understand it, go forward with it, and get to know me deep down inside. And if I see that happening, I think, sure, it's gonna be awkward at times, and still, even after I get comfortable, there'll be times where I just, hey, you know, leave me alone. That comes with the territory with social anxiety and depression. But those who understand that not every day is like that can put that to the side and really get to know who the real person is. Maybe she's out there, maybe she's not, I don't know. But it is a sad thing that so many people are dying at their own hands, all because of a disorder that we don't have the proper discussions about, that we're just treating with these pills that just don't work. To me, in my experience, now I tell you that, for some people they may work, the pills may work, but for what I know, the masses, the majority, the pills just, all they do is make them emotionless, make them feel like a zombie. And dude, I would rather, you know, be sad and upset and miserable than to have no emotion at all. I couldn't imagine what it would be like to show zero emotion. Now, granted, there were times in my life where some of the substances I took, you know, might have made me seem emotionless, but that's because I didn't show as much. But inside, when I was using those substances, I was very emotional. But the drugs would kind of I guess is the word, or just temporarily relieve the thoughts of everything. So I guess you could say, well, that's what these antidepressants and anti-anxiety medications do. However, from what I hear, it, you know, and from experience, they make you completely emotionless. They make you sleepy and tired and sluggish, and depression is already doing that to me. So why do I want something else to add to that? So we, as a country, a nation, and the healthcare professionals have got to get to the root of these problems. And a lot of these problems are psychological events that happen in your life that just manifest. A lot of people are predisposed, it's genetics, or, you know, whatever. But for the serious cases, there needs to be taken a serious look at alternatives and new ways to treat. So more people don't die, more people don't feel like it's their only option, that they're just so miserable that they just don't want to take another breath. And again, you're not a coward, you know, for doing it, in my opinion. You know, even though I kind of like, and kind of like on the fence with people who do have a solid, strong family structure slash friendship support system. But then again, I understand mental illness. I understand it more than most because of what I've been through. And so every case is different. So, you know, obviously if it comes to that, then you just don't want to take another breath, and you have every freaking right to do it because it's your life. And we can't live forever. We just can't. That's impossible. But, you know, again, this is just something that needs to be needs to be focused on more when we talk about, you know, the top 5, you know, diseases, you know, and mental health is the disease of the brain, and it's going to leapfrog, you know, like I said yesterday, it's going to leapfrog cancer and AIDS and all that stuff. So when you have a disease of your brain, and I've said this before, your brain controls your body. Your body can't function right. There's gotta be a way. For me, I was taught, well, what my therapist said and doctors have told me over the years is my serotonin level is like somewhere around 2% of a normal human being's. So your serotonin is like the pleasure center of your brain. It's what makes you happy. And there are serotonin rebuke inhibitors or something. I can't really pronounce that word right, but they're supposed to help increase that. But when my serotonin is so low, you know, that's why I guess the pills maybe don't, I don't know. But I would like to think is, you know, and I guess I could do research on this, and I'm going to. Is there a way to just, and really, you know, this is kind of like words I've heard, but really, I understand, but, you know, I'm kind of like, you know, I guess there's more I can learn, or well, there's always more you can learn about something, but is there a way to inject serotonin directly into your brain? You know, and if you don't know anything about serotonin, look it up. From what I know, serotonin is, like I said, it controls your happy emotion. You know, it controls your pleasure. And if I have 2% of a normal human being's, no wonder I'm always miserable. No wonder I'm always depressed. And no wonder, you know, I'm never happy, or rarely ever happy. Rarely. And you know, I guess more research needs to be done. You know, because of the stigma surrounding it and people not wanting to talk about it all these years and stuff. You know, back in the olden days, like my grandma said, people like me were just referred to as funny, and that's it. We're just funny. We're funny people. Oh, that person's funny. No care in the world to try to help them or fix them or do something about it. You know, and another thing is a lot of innocent people that are okay with their lives, who do want to live, they get killed too, because mental health turns people. You know, some people become mass murderers, and you know, go out and just take innocent people's lives, and that's again that's really another main focus in all this. Why we have got to do something more than what's being done. We can't just get, you know, doctors and shit can't just pull out pads and write these prescriptions and, you know, think, okay, that's it. There's got to be more, because not only are people who, you know, don't value life killing themselves, but the innocents are dying as well. So anyways, that's my conversation for the day. You know, this is just, you know, something I'm really like passionate about, because I deal with it on a personal level, and I pray that I'm able to continue to live long enough to see a change in my life before I do break. But I'm almost there, you know, and I've mentioned it before. But anyways, that's it for this conversation. I thank you for entering my alone zone, and it is now time for us to part. So until next time, this has been Chris, and I am out. Peace.